Hello and welcome, my name is Max and today you're getting to know the most important guidelines for beginners when playing Crytek's free-to-play shooter Warface. And maybe even the experienced players might find some of these helpful. Since the release, the game has greatly evolved. Currently, the developers are adding new content weekly and that's also why I enjoy playing it. But like any other FPS games, you have to get used to the functions, the assignments of keys and the movements. And likely, there are more than just these few to take into account. So this video will mention some topics that are more important to me and can't pick on the complete massive amount of aspects this game comes with. Gear. To start off, we'll take a look at the gear of the soldiers. Certainly, you can equip every soldier class with different equipment and weapons individually. These have special abilities, for example a helmet to show hidden mines or boots to be much more quiet. You should try to build up your gear to achieve great advantages in different game situations. Since I keep walking into enemy mines, I equipped my rifleman with this helmet. To be more soft-footed, I also started using these boots. Therefore, I think that it could be useful to make another video to get more in touch with the equipment. Anyway, you should look through the special effects of different gears. It also is important to modify your weapons while playing. This is a great feature in Warface which I already know from Crysis and learned to appreciate. If you have unlocked various types of attachment parts like suppressors or scopes and handles, you can attach them to your weapons to be prepared for different combat situations. Just take yourself some time to look through the various specifications of the attachment parts. One of the most important parts of shooter games is the movement, and even in Warface there are some tricks to master. Movement. I think most of the players should know the basic movements, so I don't have to explain crouching, prone position and strafing. That makes it faster to start off with a basic feature in Warface. In Warface, you are able to get out of a quick movement into a ground slide that might even gives you advantages in close combat situations. To start a slide, you only have to use the F key while running. With a slide, you are even able to pass small holes in walls with ease. In combat, you can use this to force your enemy to adjust his aim on you. This slide, if correctly used, can cause the enemy to get a bit confused. Not to forget the cons. You aren't able to cancel this slide once started and you're limited in your side and head movement. So you could easily get killed from behind or even your sides. However, you should practice sliding and might want to assign another key for this move. But later I will return to this topic. Important as well is the drop shot, used by many players in shooter games to get a little advantage of time in a close combat situation. For this, you just need to get out of the walking movement into a prone position. Many more experienced players use this to force an adjustment of the enemy's aim. And also in this case, it can be of interest to get the best key assigned for this move. Last but not least, I like to add a basic guideline when in close combat. It's called pieing. For this movement, you won't try to stand too close to an edge when walking around it, because that's what everyone is expecting from you. Walking close to an edge, people automatically take aim at it. That's why you should walk around it in a circular motion with enough space between you and the edge. It might take a lot of practice, but if you do it the next time, you get used to it fast. And it looks like a piece of pie, you see? I like pie. In Warface and other shooters as well, you should master the basic and featured movements. Climbing spots. The next important topic in Warface are the climbing spots for teams that I didn't have seen in other games this far. In Warface, you are able to reach higher places by helping each other. For this tactic, there are some special places where you're able to do so. You won't reach them without help, and that's why this is such a good idea of getting more team play into the game. But mostly I see teammates waiting for nothing at those spots. The player that is giving the help can choose to climb afterwards or to stay on the ground. By using these spots, you can choose between these options. You can see your decision by the number of fingers your soldier is holding out. I think that's an intelligent way of solving the problem of big letters in your face. So you might want to help your teammates more often. Maybe you'll even find a cool spot to get another view of the map. The next guideline is all about the basic knowledge of maps and different game modes. Maps and game modes. In many shooter games, Team Deathmatch is the most played game mode. You only have to eliminate the enemy team, and this is easy enough to get nobody confused. Other game modes might have more complex objectives to obtain. Unfortunately, I made notice about players who doesn't help their team to obtain objectives in Plant the Bomb or Domination. Therefore, you should take some time to learn how to help your team earning victory in these game modes. Because that's what everyone counts on. But still some players might only be worried about their stats, which can lead the team to lose a game. That has impact on the amount of XP each player achieves afterwards. In Plant the Bomb, one team's objective is to plant a bomb. The other team has to prevent them from doing so. In the game mode Domination, you have to capture as many points as possible for as long as possible to win the match. The game mode Storm is similar to the Rush mode in Battlefield. So if the attacker's team only has snipers that fight on distance and don't care to capture some points, the team might lose. Oh, and a useful hint is to be aware that the engineer plants and defuse bombs much faster than the other soldier classes in Plant the Bomb. Know what these game modes are about and please help your team.
Bomb successfully defused. We win the round.
It's also very important to know the maps. In different game modes there might be different maps, and so you should try out other game modes as well. To know your preferred maps is a key to win a match in games, so group up some friends and start looking around the maps for places to hide, climb or slide. You might even find something you'll never noticed while in combat. On many maps you'll even find some nice spots for sniping. So you should know the maps.
Charlie secured.
HUD and settings. For the last part of this video I want to give some guides for the usage of HUD and the settings in Warface. Like mentioned before, it might be useful to assign different keys to slide or make movements much faster. My settings should just be a little help for yours, but mine are still not made up by myself. Since the Q and the E keys are right next to WASD, you should think about using them for slides and prone. I assigned prone to Q and sliding to E to be able to activate those moves faster. It doesn't take much time to get used for these keys. To be able to climb and defuse bombs, I assigned these actions to the F key. I just changed these and keep the other keys to their original assignments. I suggest you to also adjust the crosshairs. There might be many cool styles, but mostly they are pretty useless for tactical use. The use of the circle is very helpful because it is marked in the middle and guides you by shooting from the hip or in a fast change to the aimed view. Snipers will find it much easier to quickscope enemies too. Even the spread of your weapon is viewable from the outer radiant of the circle, which makes it easier to land shots while running. So you see these crosshairs. Isn't it a circle? It can be very useful. I have to thank the players with Warface for helping me with this tip and some additional recordings for this video. You can find a link to his YouTube channel for more Warface videos right down below the video. I also have to mention the minimap in the upper left corner of the HUD. You are able to see some positions of buildings and hiding spots. And even enemies will be viewable when firing shots for a limited amount of time. In the back and tack mode, there will be planes and helicopters giving you short views of the enemies. But the minimap is much more useful when walking into a flashbang. Your sight will be blinded, but on the minimap you will be able to guide your soldier into a safe position. Just try it out. So that was my little guide for beginners in Crytek's free-to-play shooter Warface. I hope some of these tips might help you in getting started. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, it will be very appreciated. Please write a comment down below if you have any suggestions on what I could add in future videos. I have to thank all players for helping me to capture all the scenes and even my son Philip for helping me with the translation. Thank you for watching, stay awesome, I'm out.